loose balls in the first half, beat us on the boards. But to hold them to one offensive rebound and 40 points in the second half, I think that's what we want. That's what we expect. So, good second half. Obviously, the three big guys, Giannis, Chris, Eric, very good, and Pat off the bench. So, good to see us get tested in the first half and come out and respond in the third quarter.
But I know there's been nights where the halftime message is, just be yourself. And there's been half times where it's going in and telling the guys maybe loudly, time to get it together. What was the message tonight?
No, it was, I think the biggest kind of what I just alluded to, I think we were not rebounding. We weren't taking care of the boards. I think they were just kind of outworking us. But it was, and I think, they were playing well. The pick and roll game with Jackson and Drummond, they were effective. And, I think you have to give credit to Detroit. And we just said we want to keep doing what we've always done. We just got to be better. Particularly, we got to be better taking care of the boards. I thought a couple transition baskets, we didn't stick to our principles. But it was just kind of a normal halftime. And, let's just do what we've been doing. Let's just do it a lot better.
It seemed like Bled just kind of came up with a bunch of big plays, timely plays when you guys needed him. In particular, that miss by Pat from the corner, he comes in for the offensive rebound. Just how much do you think that he affected the kind of the game tonight in terms of giving you guys a jolt?
Yeah, I thought Eric was big time. I mean, the one you just talked about really stands out. I think we'd made a big run, gone up, 17 or so, maybe more, and then they cut it back, and we were a little bit wobbly, and that's just a heck of an athletic play to, I think catch it with his left hand and just put it back off the board and finish it. And then he gets the steal and a couple other plays, and it did feel like, his plays and his defense were very timely. And that's kind of, what he's done for us a lot this year. He has big impact plays.
It's 2 straight solid games for Pat off the bench. Just what is his energy and athleticism meant coming off the bench?
Yeah, it's great when you have, a little bit of pop off your bench. I love the pop he gives us defensively. How many block shots did he have? He covers a lot of ground. He gets to great contests. Even when he doesn't block them, I think he bothers shooters. He's really great chasing and staying with guys. And now, he mixes in, making some threes. He's going to the basket and finishing. He and I are laughing. He's turned into our best power forward with a jump hook. He's doing a little bit of everything.
Before the game, Dwayne Casey spoke a little bit about trying to get defenders in front of you guys in the paint, try and take some charges. It looked like in the first half they did a pretty good job of that, but in the second half you were sort of able to get to spots, get better looks. So was that something you mentioned at halftime, or was that sort of player driven? And I guess the second part was Giannis to start the third quarter with 7 points in the first minute. What did you see from him?
Yeah, we did talk a little bit at halftime. I think we have to move them a little bit more. We have to play with each other a little bit more. In the first half, there's times when we're just, felt like we're just trying to basically beat our guy without any passes. And, when there's lanes and there's opportunities, we like that. But I think, we got to be just as willing to make a couple of passes, move the defense a little bit, and then attack again. And the first half, it didn't feel like we were as willing to make those passes and move them before we attacked. Second half was better. Giannis, the first, couple minutes, getting 7 points. The first play of the half, he kind of gets it on a go and catch and finishes. And so, I don't think he didn't feel great about how he played in the first half. And, he usually, when he feels that way, he's going to do something to change it.
But it seemed like kind of like a volume thing in the first half. Your shooting percentage was pretty strong, and theirs wasn't great, but they end up with a lead. Was it empty possessions on your end, and part of what you just talked about, and maybe not doing that extra pass to get a hoop and might be an offensive foul or something like that, just to kind of stunt your own possessions?
Yeah, I think they had 14 or 15 more shots than us. We had we were significantly better in field goal percentage and 3-point percentage and free. But we turned it over too many times, so that gave them extra possessions. And then we talked about they'd killed us on the offensive boards in the first half. And so between our turnovers and their offensive rebounding, they just got so many more shots than us. They were up at halftime despite, us shooting a higher percentage.
But how do you feel you guys responded to their use of Luke Kennard in the starting lineup? And did you change anything specifically at halftime?
Yeah, I would say, he was a big part of that first half, thrust that they put out there. And certainly credit to Luke. He played well. I think there's a couple areas where we need to tighten up and we can be better. But again, the first half, they're a good team. There's a reason why they're in the playoffs, and those guys, Kennard made a bunch of shots. Reggie Jackson made a lot of shots and reads, and they played well, including Kennard. And I think we can be better, but, you got to give him credit.
Yeah, there were a few possessions in a row where Giannis was walking up and down the court there in the third quarter. He had a collision with Drummond and didn't get back on defense. Just was there anything to that in terms of him? Was he cramping or anything to that?
No, I mean, I think Giannis, he tends to play so hard and he gives so much, and he does a ton for us defensively. Then we're trying to play fast, and he may have the ball a lot. So I don't think it was anything unusual. There was no dead ball. He ended up playing a little bit longer than his normal stretch, and so he plays so hard for us. He leaves it all out there, so sometimes he gets just a little bit winded.
Tonight, there's the sequence where Chris gets that steal, throws it up to Eric. There's the sequence where Eric gets taps it over to Giannis, and then he goes, "What does it mean to have like your three big guys like they're making hustle plays on a night like this?"
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of been talking about that all year. When those guys do it, it means even more. When your best players are kind of, getting on the floor for loose balls, getting 50-50 balls, doing things defensively, everybody's watching them. And, I think the whole team follows those three's leads. And, tonight, their second half was a great example of it. Thanks.
Y'all know who I am, I'm not who I used to be. I know it wasn't in my plans, but it panned out and it's cool to me. Spent all my time trying to be the man, but didn't want to grow like Peter Pan. Once upon a time I was doing bad, now I'm on something new, hope you understand. Sitting on top undefeated, any obstacle I'ma beat it. Any opposition I'ma beat them. Victory is all I see, yeah. Cause losing is never an option, it's never an option, no. I see you over there plotting, you think you gon' prosper, no.
I refuse to lose, I'm born to win. I refuse to lose, I'm going in. I refuse to lose, I'm born to win. I refuse to lose, I'm going in.
Sick of losing, I was born to win. A new man like I'm born again. This time around, man, I'm going in. They gave me the ball, I'm not losing it. You devils can take all these L's back. Moving forward, never looking back. Refuse to take any more losses. No misfortunes, just endorsements. Operate at peak performance. Squad behind me, reinforcements. All I think about is scoring. Hear 'em roaring, crowd applauding. Cause losing is never an option, it's never an option, no. I see you over there plotting, you think you gon' prosper, no.
I refuse to lose, I'm born to win. I refuse to lose, I'm going in. I refuse to lose, I'm born to win. I refuse to lose, I'm going in.
Any questions? Well, again, I thought we set the tone in the second quarter, but again, against a team like Milwaukee, you've got to do it for a longer period of time. I don't think we extended it long enough. It showed in the third quarter scoring. They scored 35 points to our 17, so it was our Achilles heel tonight. Again, our challenge has been that way a lot this year when we struggle, is extending hard play, not getting bored with doing the fundamentals, not getting bored to kicking the ball out and doing those things offensively, and then defensively staying solid and to make sure we execute what we're supposed to do. That's a discipline that's got to be at the top of our charts going into next game and also into next year. Luke and I was really proud of the way he came. He gave us a little bit more spacing, a small lineup, gave us the opportunity to score, space the floor, move the ball, and I thought we did that in the second quarter. And again, we got away from that in the third, subsequently, scoring 17 points.
Dwayne, on that defensive theme, Bruce Brown, you made the switch with Luke and Bruce, but it seemed like he fit a little bit better. He was comfortable coming in the second quarter from a defensive perspective. How did that help overall?
It did. It set the tone, gave us a little juice and energy. But against this team, you've got to score. You've got to score. You can't, think that you're going to get that many stops and not give yourself a chance to win. And for us to beat them, we've got to make sure we do a good job of executing, moving the ball, attacking the paint, kickouts, attacking the paint, finishing, attacking the paint, giving ourselves a chance to we got up, 36 threes. We had some great looks from threes and knocked those down. So that's the way, the opportunity, the recipe for giving us a chance to beat a team like Milwaukee.
Well, aside from the defensive stuff, and you mentioned that you got up a lot of threes tonight, did the offense for the most part function like you wanted to for most of the night?
It did. Especially second quarter. The drive kick swings, the kickouts were the key to the scoring. Where we got 32 in the second quarter, and then we took the shots they wanted us to take in the third quarter, and we got to reverse that.
Is there a learning curve to playoff energy, and maybe did you leave opportunities on the court with some open threes that you didn't make in the first half?
No question. Again, your team has been here how many years in a row now, and I was here 2 years ago. They were kind of going through the same thing we're going through now, getting that playoff experience, getting the battle wounds, battle scars, learning. And again, it's a different game, a different level, and you've got the small mistakes you can make and get by with in the regular season, they're magnified in this setting. And, you've got to do the little things for a longer period of time, especially in the playoffs. And, again, like you said, if you got a wide-open shot, you better knock it down. You might not get another one. And, again, we did. We got some of the shots we wanted, but, it's a make-or-miss league.
Dwayne, one thing you really emphasized leading into this game was at a point your defenders have to meet the Bucks in the transition or in the half court. Did you feel like they did a much better job of that tonight?
I thought we would have 3 charges against Antetokounmpo, and we got to do that. We put a wall there. Andre did a good job of getting in the wall. We got to take as many of those as possible, and put your body in there and have a confrontation. And that's where it's got to be, and I thought we did a much better job. I think they only had, 2 dunks in the first half, and did a much better job of protecting the nail in transition. All right, thank you.
Up in the ranks, we get to cutting either checks or the case. I gotta switch at the pace. Only thing I got is gotta get to the bank. I got goals, got dreams, I ain't taking no breaks. And I got what it takes. Looking at the options up in my face. I'm up in the ante and I'm up in the cake. I got into the deal, now I'm out of the States. So levitate, just a little more. Just a little more. Levitate, just a little more.
Yeah. Real love, something I've been trying to find. Where you been? Got here just in time. I think there's something I've been waiting for. I've been asking if it's something that I'm ready for. I was out looking for love in a trash can. I always thought there was nobody out there. Then I found you and you put me in the zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone. When I'm sleeping, love is all I can dream of. When you leave me, baby, it's all that I can think of. Can't nothing come in between us but the road. I can't help it that we connected at the soul. Show me how to love, how you do that. This my heart, better watch it where you shoot at. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in the zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone. This time last year, used to hate love. Been through so much, almost gave up. Every time I felt like it was something missing. Then I met you, then you showed me something different. Heart on lockdown, but letting no one in. I was shutting people down before they even begin. Can't imagine me living my life without you. Had to sit down and write me a song about you. Lost my mind to describe what it feel like. If a bird lost its wing, but it still flies. You the one, help me realize. Love really do exist in the real life. Love really do exist in the real life. Real life, real life. When I'm sleeping, love is all I can dream of. When you leave me, baby, it's all that I can think of. Can't nothing come in between us but the road. I can't help it that we connected at the soul. Show me how to love, how you do that. This my heart, better watch the way you shoot it. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in the zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone.
Luke, after game one, you talked about you guys were getting shots that you weren't making and the importance of shot making. You started tonight, helped with that. How do you think that opened up, at least your guys' game early on, the ability to keep pace with them out of the gate?
I mean, what they've been doing, that I've seen so far, what we've seen, they're kind of staying home with shooters. So with me and Wayne out there, they're respecting our shot and, it kind of just opens the floor a little more, gives Reggie some space to create. But we got the shots we wanted because of the defense. I thought, especially the first half and the second quarter, our defense was really good. We got back in transition, was able to, get some stops and get out and run. Transition offense is, some of our best offense, so it was good for us.
Luke, after game one, most of the talk was about adjustments that you could make. Were you surprised that so many of those were able to work, and it seemed like things started clicking really in the second quarter as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, we really didn't change much of our game plan from the first game to the second game. Just, we paid a little more attention to detail, especially getting back and, loading to the ball, making sure Giannis didn't have, big gaps to drive the ball. But, it's just a thing where we just needed to play with more energy, a little more toughness, a little more fight. And, I thought we did that, especially in the first half.
Luke, is there a difference between starting and coming off the bench?
Not necessarily. As a starter, you're expected to, obviously start the game off with a lot of energy, a lot of physicality, try to build a lead right away. So not necessarily. I didn't really feel any difference. Starting today, coming off the bench, either way is fine with me. But, there might be just, obviously you're starting. I mean, you got to try to, get a lead or try to keep your team, and with the others. I mean, just try to keep the score, even at least. And, it was a thing where we wanted to, create a little more space on offense. So we kind of, I thought we did that, and we got some good looks.
You got the three on the first possession. Mm-hmm. Was the play call for you?
It was. Either a three, if they took that away, just try to create off of that.
After the first game, you and Bruce both said that you didn't really have the nerves you anticipated going into the playoffs, and obviously you backed it up again with another nice performance. But can you talk about Bruce? He doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but the impact he had today kind of played off what you started, and then he came in and extended that as well.
No, Bruce played great. He
you know, whenever he's in a game, obviously he's, you know, one of our best defenders, if not the best. So the way he can impact the ball, that's big. You know, able to block shots, get steals, his energy. You know, you just kind of feed off of that. I remember he got a steal and, you know, took it down the break, and then he pitched it back to me. I got a 3. You know, that's just some momentum changer. It gives us, you know, some confidence. So the way that he brings energy is big time, and you know, credit for him. I mean, being a rookie, you know, obviously it's my first time too, but you know, being a rookie in the NBA and then playing in the playoffs for your first time, you know, he always brings fight, has that grit, and it's good to see that from him. All right, thank you.
Ball hard on the court, boy. Ball hard on the court. Switch it up, pass, cross 'em up, fast. Ball hard on the court, boy. Ball hard on the court. Switch it up, pass, cross 'em up, fast. MJ with the ball, temp fade. Been made since the old days, so paid. LJ call him King James. 6 rings, ball hard in the paint, thanks. What a gratitude, young black man with an attitude. So focused, you probably think that I'm mad at you. Gotta get that check on the sex like flex, make the girl say yes. What you mean? I just put some magic on the dream. Clean, do it for the team. Billie Jean, Sammy Santor like Yao Ming. Crowd scene, thanks for the doubting. Ball hard on the court, boy. Ball hard on the court. Switch it up, pass, cross 'em up, fast. Ball hard on the court, boy. Ball hard on the court. Switch it up, pass, cross 'em up, fast. Lightning, I move smooth as Tai Chi. Never gave two what if they like me. Entice B, bet I bubble like Sprite B. And when it comes to the feet, it's not likely. Street cred, plus I run the court 6 legs. Y'all just creep, no 6 leg. Paint a picture for your head, top ball till I'm dead drop. Shoot 3s from the grave, no the game don't stop. Coach put me in, no I can't just watch. No, bench warmers or ball hoarders in my corner. My legacy lives on like a heart donor. Transplant, I ain't talking about your hairline. If it's J's on my feet, then it's airtime. Snare chime, words for weapons, well let me add mine. Chop it sound, drop it down, bear climb, gone. Ball hard on the court, boy. Ball hard on the court. Switch it up, pass, cross 'em up, fast. Ball hard on the court, boy. Ball hard on the court. Switch it up, pass, cross 'em up, fast. Levitate, just a little more. Just a little more. Levitate, just a little more. Born to ball, but we don't play. We are artists, Prince of the pauper, or maybe a saint. I've been moving like the army that's up in the ranks. We get to cut and need the checks of the case. I gotta switch at the pace. Only thing I got is gotta get to the bank. I got goals, got dreams, I ain't taking no breaks. And I got what it takes. Looking at the options up in my face. I'm up in the ante and I'm up in the cake. I got into the deal, now I'm out of the States. So levitate, just Levitate, levitate, just a little more, just a little more, just a little more, just a little more.
Yeah, yeah. Real love, something I've been trying to find. Where you been? Got here just in time. I think there's something I've been waiting for. I've been asking if it's something that I'm ready for. I was out looking for love in a trash can. I always thought there was nobody out there. Then I found you and you put me in the zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone. When I'm sleeping, love is all I can dream of. When you leave me, baby, it's all that I can think of. Can't nothing come in between us but the road. I can't help it that we connected at the soul. Show me how to love, how you do that. This my heart, better watch the way you shoot it. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in the zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone. This time last year, used to hate love. Been through so much, almost gave up. Every time I felt like it was something missing. Then I met you, then you showed me something different. Heart on lockdown, but letting no one in. I was shutting people down before they even begin. Can't imagine me living my life without you. Had to sit down and write me a song about you. Lost my mind to describe what it feel like. If a bird lost its wing, but it still flies. You the one, help me realize. Love really do exist in the real life. Love really do exist in the real life. Real life, real life. When I'm sleeping, love is all I can dream of. When you leave me, baby, it's all that I can think of. Can't nothing come in between us but the road. I can't help it that we connected at the soul. Show me how to love, how you do that. This my heart, better watch the way you shoot it. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in the zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone. When I'm with you, I feel like I be in my zone.
Y'all know who I am. I'm not who I used to be. it wasn't in my plans, but it panned out and it's cool to me. Spent all my time trying to be the man, but didn't want to grow like Peter Pan. Once upon a time I was doing bad, now I'm on something new, hope you understand. Sitting on top undefeated, any obstacle I'ma beat it. Any opposition I'ma beat them. Victory is all I see in. Cause losing is never an option, it's never an option, no. I see you over there plotting, you think you gon' prosper, no.
I refuse to lose, I'm born to win. I refuse to lose, I'm going in. I refuse to lose, I'm born to win. I refuse to lose, I'm going in.
Sick of losing, I was born to win. A new man like I'm born again. This time around, man, I'm going in. They gave me the ball, I'm not losing it. You devils can take all these L's back. Moving forward, never looking back. Refuse to take any more losses. No misfortunes, just endorsements. Operate at peak performance. Squad behind me, reinforcements. All I think about is scoring. Hear 'em roaring, crowd applauding. Cause losing is never an option, it's never an option, no. I see you over there plotting, you think you gon' prosper, no.
I refuse to lose, I'm born to win. I refuse to lose, I'm going in. I refuse to lose, I'm born to win. I refuse to lose, I'm going in.
Ball hard on the court, boy. Ball hard on the court. Switch it up, pass, pass. Cross 'em up, fast, fast. Ball hard on the court, boy. Ball hard on the court. Switch it up, pass, pass. Cross 'em up, fast. MJ with the ball, temp fade. Been made since the old days, so paid. LJ call him King James. 6 rings, ball hard in the paint, thanks. What a gratitude, young black man with an attitude. So focused, you probably think that I'm mad at you. Gotta get that check on the sex like flex, make the girl say yes. What you mean? I just put some magic on the dream. Clean, do it for the team, Billie Jean. Sammy Santor like y'all mean. Crowd scene, thanks for the doubting. Ball hard on the court, boy. Ball hard on the court. Switch it up, pass, pass. Cross 'em up, fast, fast. Ball hard on the court, boy. Ball hard on the court. Switch it up, pass, pass. Cross 'em up, fast. Lightning, I move smooth as Tai Chi. Never gave two what if they like me. Entice B, bet I bubble like Sprite B. And when it comes to the feet, it's not likely. Street cred, plus I run the court 6 legs. Y'all just creep, no 6 leg. Paint a picture for your head, top ball till I'm dead drop. Shoot threes from the grave, no the game don't stop. Coach put me in, no I can't just watch. No, bench warmers or ball hoarders in my corner. My legacy lives on like a heart donor. Transplant, I ain't talking about your hairline. If it's J's on my feet, then it's airtime. Snare chime, words for weapons, well let me add mine. Chop it sound, drop it down, bear climb, gone. Ball hard on the court, boy. Ball hard on the court. Switch it up, pass, pass. Cross 'em up, fast, fast. Ball hard on the court, boy. Ball hard on the court. Switch it up, pass, pass. Cross 'em up, fast. Levitate, levitate, just a little more. Just a little more. Levitate, levitate, just a little more. Just a little more. Born to ball, but we don't play. We are artists, still in the pain. Prince of the pauper, or maybe a saint. I've been moving like the army that's up in the ranks.
You showed some frustration on your face. You were still looking for more. You were hoping for more yet. A couple of years ago, a 21-point win in the playoffs, you would have been thrilled about this. What does that mean? What does that say about your team?
Actually, the frustration was because my body was hurting more. But obviously, you know, I want to be in the game. I want to finish the game. But I think Coach Bad is doing a great job just keeping us in like low minutes and making sure we get some rest, especially when we're up 21. But it's amazing, you know. You know, we're up 2-0 right now. We're going to the road. We got to get a win in the road, you know. But tonight, I think we just did our job. These both games.
They had a big second quarter. You guys struggled a little bit there. Just what was the difference in kind of taking control there in the second half and fixing the mistakes of that second quarter?
We knew they was going to come out with a fight. We just had to match their intensity. I thought we did a great job of going into the half. Coach Bud came, talked it over with us, and we came out and executed the plan.
Giannis, the Pistons' strategy of trying to wall you off in the paint seemed to work a bit more in the first half than the second. What adjustments did you make, or how did you kind of try to find your spots?
No, it's about will. Obviously, I knew they're gonna come out and try to load as much, put guys in the paint, crowd me, but I just try to have patience. And just at the end of the day, sometimes you gotta just have will. And I came in the second half. Eric told me be aggressive. It's gonna come, and that's what I try to do.
Giannis, for you, this is I think the most charges we've seen you accumulate in a game in a little while. What were they doing that made it a little bit more difficult, or might have surprised you on those charges?
I think just did a great job just reading which way I was going. Yeah, they did a great job just reading where I was going, and they was able to get some charges. Especially, I think Than got the last one. Than have played with me for 2.5 years now, so he kind of know which way I prefer to go, and I think it was a smart play by him.
Eric, I asked Coach Casey about the learning curve of playoff energy. Can you speak to that? And do you see that it's evolved on this roster in what you've seen from the evolution of the energy it takes in the playoffs?
I feel like, us as a team, we got players that have been on the team for a while. We went through adversity, 7 games last year, and we know what it takes now, and we focus. So we're trying to, block everything out, focus on us, and, just do our job, and, it's showing.
Eric, people will commonly say that, a series really begins once you get one on the road. Is that the mentality you have to take into Detroit, that you just kind of did what you had to do here, but now you got to find a way to get one there?
Giannis said it earlier. We took care of business, like we should. Won our, games we supposed to win at home. Now we're going on the road, playing against a, tough crowd, tough team. We're going to go in, practice, and, see what we can do better. And we're looking forward to, Game 3, in Detroit.
Giannis, you said that you were frustrated because your body was hurting a little bit. There were a couple of plays in a row there where you were walking up and down the court in the third quarter before Bud called timeout. Just what were you feeling out there, and what was bothering you?
I was just tired. I think we were just playing fast. And I don't remember who was in the game. I think Chris and George Hill. And the pace was just really fast. And I was in the game probably in the game for 8.5 minutes straight. Usually I stay in the game 6.5. I was trying to be aggressive. I was trying to defend, rebound, run, and do more. Try to be more active. And obviously I just got tired. I think Coach Bad saw that, and that's why he took me out.
That sequence with Thon there, he did block your shot, and then I think it took you about 5.3 seconds to dunk all over him, whatever it was. Was that, once he blocked you, did you just decide that you were going to go straight back at him again?
I'm just try to do my job. Try to be aggressive. Obviously, Fan is 7'1", 7'2", long. He can block shots. That's one of the things that he does great. But when I tried to get him a little bit deeper in the paint, and I was able to find the opportunity to dunk on him. But I was just trying to do my job, make plays.
You two have that sequence where, Eric, you get the steal, you tap it out to Giannis. Can you two just kind of walk me through that play, what you saw originally, and then obviously what you saw at the end of it? You have that finger roll to, I think, go up 20.
It was a pick and roll with Ish, and I saw Drummond trailing, so I tried to, help Brooke out. He's been helping us out defending at the rim, so I tried to, late, switch, and he kind of threw, a bad pass. And I kind of mistimed it. Obviously Drummond mistimed it. And I saw Giannis over there, and Drummond was trying to get it. So I just tried to do everything in my power to get it to Giannis because I saw him already in the full sprint. And once I got to him, I knew everything else was going to take care of itself.
Giannis, Coach Casey said before the game that they don't want to give you the open three, but they said he thinks that's the only part of your game that you still need to work on. How good did that feel coming out in that third quarter? You're knocking down the first 7 points of that third, and you hit the three. What does that do to change the game at that point?
Can you repeat the last part, please, again?
Well, it just the three was part of that 7-0 run to start the second half. How important is that you get out there and you hit the long distance shot to go along with what your normal strengths are?
It feels good. I've been working on it a lot. It's a part of my game now. I've been shooting the three ball in the last couple of games, probably 15, 20 games. My teammates want me to shoot that ball, and especially when I get to the paint, I get to my strength, and the guy still bucks up. When I feel like the ball's gonna go in, and I just shoot it with confidence, and that one went in, and we were able to make a 7-0 run. And I think mentally, the most important thing is that I know they're going to give me those shots the whole game. I just got to be able to be mentally prepared and, get to my rhythm and take those shots.
Eric, the lift that Pat has given you guys in 2 games, pretty remarkable. I mean, he could do a instructional video on how to block a jump shot from behind. 4 blocks, right? And filling up the points, a lot of minutes. But you never know who from the bench can do it on a given night. They're all capable. But the lift that he's given you guys in a couple games with energy and production, how do you guys feed off that, and what did you see out of him tonight?
I mean, it's huge. He make game-changing plays. I said this earlier. Earlier he'll play and won't play. But Pat's been a professional, throughout the whole process. And, we as players, go against him in practice every day, so we know what he's capable of doing. And it don't surprise us at all when he get out there and, change the game like he does.
Bled, for you seem so relaxed and like you're enjoying yourself and confident right now in the playoffs. I'm just wondering for you, how has this changed, I guess, for you personally, but also the group from a year ago when it did seem like you guys may have been feeling the pressure a little bit more. So, how has this changed from last year?
I think we, hold each other accountable and can talk to each other about, any situation without people getting, mad or anything. So, and, us being in that, tough environment, it kind of helped us grow as a team. We know each other games now. We know each other capable of doing so. We trust each other to make the right play, and and Coach Bud as well. So, we got a team, that's confident in each other. That, says a lot.
You said you kind of like the 6-minute spurts, the 6 to 8 minutes. When do you want to see that no break? When does that come, where you don't need or want that rest?
It depends. Usually, I'd rather be in the game, in the end of the game, probably fourth quarter. But it depends. When I'm going and I'm making plays and I'm defending and I'm running the floor and I'm finding my teammate, I like to be in the game. And there's been times that Coach Bud left me in the game, and there's been times that he said, no, like, sit your butt at the bench and you're going to go right back in. And all I can do is just, trust him.
I'm curious for you guys this year. I know there's been times where Bud at halftime has, kind of lit you guys up a little bit, and there's been times where Bud's walked in at halftime and said, "Hey, just do what you do." What does it mean that in a playoff game, back against the wall, he literally just walked in tonight and said, "Hey, like, do what you guys do, but do a little bit better"?
It means a lot. I think we've done a great job responding all year, and I think he trusts us. He knows that we know when we're messing up. We know that when we're not putting enough effort. So he just comes in. He looks at our faces. We all pissed off and mad, and he's like, "Okay, you guys go out there and do your job." And that's what that's what we try to do. You guys go watch the Pink Panther movie.